All right, Hoosier Pass. This is my third pass at Hoosier Pass today. The first two, apparently I recorded the strap in front of my phone, which means we missed out on a nice crash when the snow collapsed underneath me, and just overall some decent footage. But it does mean I know a little more what I'm in for now. I'm on my really old school Fisher E99s. It is April 10th, a couple inches of fresh snow, and that fresh snow is sometimes giving me a nice little bit of cushion, and sometimes some sticky mank. And so it's occasionally a little unpredictable. But if I can keep it from sticking to the bases of my skis, then this should be a fun descent and a bit of a challenge on an NNBC with 215 centimeters of skinny ski to try to control. My wife is running shuttle for me with the baby in the car, so as long as baby stays happy, I might be able to get a couple laps in to make up for the ones that I did not film successfully. You can see my previous tracks here. That's what I'm skiing on. I'll avoid that part. So for the most part, the base is nice, a little bit of soft on top, but occasionally it's a rotten base with soft on top, and you can't tell the difference between where it's nice and where it's rotten. So we'll see if I can avoid crashing a second time. I got through cleanly with the E99s the first run. I think the 215 centimeters helped. But when it was time to ski with my Outback 68s that are 189, that's when I ate it. I also feel like even though these E99s are 215 centimeters, they're turning a little better, and they certainly feel more stable. So the Outback 68s, the first couple runs, skied a lot faster. That's because they didn't clump up the way the E99s did. But this run so far, so good. If clumping's not an issue, and not something related to older style base versus new base, I think I'd choose these old E99s over the Outback 68s for what I'm doing today, which is quite a bit of downhill and spring snow. About as downhill as you'd probably ever care to take skis in this class, at least if you're my skill level, which is not a ton of skill, but hopefully improving. Alright, I'm following the Outback 68 tracks, which will lead me to where I fell. Let's go over here. Swing wide. Sweet chariot. There's a little bit of collapse going on. something slightly different each run. This is approaching where I collapsed, or the snow collapsed. I'll steer clear of that. There it is. Maybe you can see that. Nice. Got by scot-free. You can see I did a lot more turning with the Outback 68s my first couple runs because they were skiing so fast. Really had to check my speed. And a lot less turning because the snow is clumping up on the E99s. But if that's not the case this run, for whatever reason, then I'm gonna stick to the squiggles, keep my speed controlled. There are still some forest roads and spots like that where you can put in some mileage, kick and glide on flats. Wife and baby can ski with me and all that. But being April 10th and not a legendary snow year, we're getting to Continental Divide season, where most of my skiing will be on Hoosier Pass, maybe Rabbit Ears or Grand Mesa if we want to drive that far. Otherwise, spots where the highways cross the divide, or I throw skis on my backpack and hike a ways. All right, skis aren't sticking. This should be a nice meadow. Take some nice wide turns and oh yeah. That's great. I explained in the first vid that these long skinny skis, they will turn, but it's hard to force them to turn. And if you're trying to force them to turn, you might end up turning faster than your ski does. And that's one situation where I typically catch an edge and fall to my side, or have to barely catch myself with my pole. So if you're just starting out and you're skiing these long skinnies, know that they will turn, just not on a dime. So be patient with them. There's my wife. Time to throw these in the car, head back up, hopefully for a fourth lap. That was the run of the day so far. These didn't stick like they did the first run, and so I enjoyed. Yeah. Maybe it's because they were riding up here instead of underneath.